Great, thank you, Evan. So I'll just continue. So first, we will have the introduction about our webinar, and secondly, I will let the floor to Erik Johnson, our program director, to speak in more details regarding the MScT program, Energy Environment, Science, Technology, and Management program. And then we have Meie Kleijburg, our current student, to share about her student journey at Ecole Technique. And after that, I will speak briefly about application process, and you are please feel free to ask any question that you may have. We are here to answer all your questions during this webinar. Yes, so first of all, I would like to introduce briefly about École Polytechnique. So as you may know, in France, École Polytechnique, known as l'X, and it has been known for its excellencies in engineering and science field for the last 200 years. So we founded in 1794. And at the current moment, we have around 3,600 students, and we remain the top engineering university in France and also worldwide. So we have program from bachelor and undergraduate to graduate, PhD and master. And at the moment, we have the around 40% of international students. In our campus, we have more than 50 nationalities and countings. So if you are joining us from the nationality that we don't have, we will have more diversities. And on campus, we have 23 laboratories on campus. And with our strategic location, we are very close to Paris, only 20 kilometers. Fast train away within 1 hour. Um, and in our campus, it's an ecosystem that you can have the classroom and the laboratories, the sport, and many activities. So the student life is also very important. It's one of the memorable part of your student life besides studies. So we have more than 200 student clubs, and we have the CLEC on the campus. It's very iconic, where you can do a lot of sport and running around. And we also have career center, which advise you about which step to take for your next career. And for the Master of Science Technology, so it's a 2 years program, very industrial oriented and entirely study in English. You will be taught by world-class professor and as well as industry leaders. More into details, I think Erik Johnson could share with you later on. And now I would be glad to give the floor to Erik Johnson to share with you more about the program.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to start by justifying the existence of the program. I think that we can pretty quickly guess that the reason this program exists is to help us address the challenge that we're all aware of, which is on the issue surrounding global warming. And so this is the systematic increase of the temperature of the Earth's surface over time. And we know that we need to do something about this. The consequences are already all around us. And so some scenarios are being proposed to deal with this. And so we can see that if we want to arrest warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius, then there are scenarios that will make this possible. And these are some possible pathways are shown here. But if we click on the next slide, and I have to ask Kelsey to click on the next slide because these scenarios entail not just a reduction in carbon dioxide emission, greenhouse gas emission, but even a reduction below zero. That's to say a net negative emission of CO2. And so that's a nice goal to have. But in reality, how are we doing so far? So the next slide will show some historical data again, more up to date. Kelsey, if you can click again. I'll just say click.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, please, everyone, can you please mute your microphone so we can hear Erik properly, and unmute the microphone only when you ask for a question. Thank you.
Thank you. So if we click again, we can see how we're doing. So this is a few years old now, but the trend hasn't changed much. We're doing at best we're managing to do is to stabilize CO2 emissions, but we're not yet into a net decrease. And the reason for this is quite clear, which becomes evident upon clicking, click, which is that the majority of our final energy consumption continues to come from fossil fuels, and so we have a long ways to go. But those changes aren't going to happen on their own. And so we need the leaders, engineers, scientists, politicians, and political leaders that can help usher in this change. And the goal of the program is to help form those future leaders, to think about the challenges and think about how to put them into action. And so the next slide, click, underlines how this program is laid out. Sorry, unclick. So the program recognizes that there are numerous elements to putting these changes into place. And so the first is understanding the challenge. And so part of the program, which we nicknamed the STEAM Master Program, is understanding the challenge. And this has to go with understanding the atmospheric science and pollution aspects that define what's going on. The second aspect is about understanding the solutions and mastering the existing solutions and inventing new ones. And so this goes towards scientific expertise into the different technologies about energy production, or rather transformation, and storage and distribution, which are going to drastically change the way that we interact with energy in the future. And finally, we recognize that all of this is wonderful, but is not useful unless it can be put into place. And so we also understand the importance of the soft skills that people need to implement these solutions, which involve management and understanding the economics and project management and innovation and so on. And so this is an important part of the program that we recognize and is actually quite an important part. Sorry, quite a French important, large part of the program. And so there's a little bit more detail here on the next slide, showing the courses that are available. It's a 2-year program. And so what I want to underline here, I don't want to go through all the courses that are available, but they do cover a wide range that you can look at and read yourself. And so you'll pick a number of these courses. You can see there's 3 courses per period of the 2 periods in the first year of what I would call class-based scientific courses. But then we also have laboratory courses, and you see the management and economics course. But I want to underline at the bottom here an important aspect, which is our interaction with industry. And so industry, French industry contributes to the program in a number of different ways, both through conferences that are held. So these are periodic weekly seminars, both from industry and from the scientific and political spheres. They also contribute to the classroom courses as well. In the first year of the program, we actually do an industry visit. So we'll go to industrial sites and see what this looks like in practice. Just before the holidays this year, we went to Grenoble and visited the Schneider Electric headquarters, and we also went to an EDF hydroelectric dam and got to tour the inside of the guts of the hydroelectric dam, which was very interesting to see what all of these things look like in practice. And then finally, the other form that the interaction with industry, but also academic labs will take is the internship. And so each of the 2 years of the master's program involves a 4 to 6 month internship, which can be held at as I said, at a research facility, at an industry, and even more and more now in energy consultancies. On top of this, we add in the language component, the humanities component, and as a bonus, there's also a mandatory sports component. And so you will, while you get wiser, you will also get healthier at the École Polytechnique. The second year is building on the content of the first year. There's a lot more project-based elements in the second year. So going even further than the fundamentals that you get in the first year. There's, once again, laboratory courses in the actual laboratories, research labs of the École Polytechnique and around the campus. And again, a 5 to 6 month internship to cap it off, which often leads to the first job offers, if that's the course you want to take, or PhD proposals if academics is your decision. If we go on a little bit, I don't want to go through every line of the possibilities. I just want to emphasize that part of the advantage of coming to the École Polytechnique and the campus here is that you really are integrated and surrounded by actual research in the area going on. So 2 examples of this are here. The first is the Sirta Atmospheric Observatory, which is a research lab looking at tracking the weather and weather systems and how this relates to the production of renewable energy. And the second is just to give an overview of all the laboratories here that are working around the subject of energy for climate. So each one of this big grouping, which is the Energy for Climate grouping of research at the École Polytechnique, constitutes a bunch of labs that have their own scientific subject, but then work together on a topic where the subject, the outcome, is something to do with energy. On the next slide, we underline this in a different way, not just the laboratories that are here, but our industrial partners. I alluded to the partners that interact with the program already, and here's a concrete list of some of our most important ones. So we see both energy companies, French energy companies, but also construction and energy consultancy companies. And finally, the larger research and academic partnerships that we have here on campus and throughout Europe. The next slide underlines some of the possible outcomes, what you might want to go into after graduation from this program. So our students have had success going into industry, going into academic research, and going into public administration. So it's government at all forms, top to bottom. Either implementing technologies at scale, going further towards academic research in energy through a PhD. A number of our students have gone into doing startups at many different scales, energy consultancy, and finally getting involved in energy and environmental policies through government. We've actually the program is now mature enough that our students that have gone on to do startups are now coming back and hiring interns to then work in the startups that were founded by interns, and the cycle continues. So that's a very positive outcome for the program. Finally, I think the next question is who can apply? Yes, got it. And so it's a technical program. It's very scientific, I would say physics and engineering based. And so it is quite a bit of hard science. And so if you have a bachelor's degree in physics, engineering science or physics, engineering, mechanical, electrical, chemical engineering are all very well suited to it. Applied math, and energy engineering, if a degree in energy engineering, it kind of depends on how the program is structured. But if it has a strong physics, chemistry, math component, then that will provide you well and give you the academic background to succeed in the program. And finally, a Bachelor of Science in Physics or a Diplôme d'ingénieur will prepare you well. If there are questions about specific programs, I'll be happy to answer those afterwards. And I think that's it for me.
Thank you, Erik. Okay, thank you, Kelsey. So now we have a student, Erik, into your program, May. If you want to introduce yourself and share a little bit about your experience, that will be very helpful for all the attendees. And as you see all the attendees, we can see you on screen. You can unmute if there is any question that you have. Please feel free. Just raise your hand or somehow so we can I can call your name and you can ask your question. So May, what made you come to the program?
Yes, hi. everybody. My name is Meie. I am from the Netherlands. I'm 25 years old and I'm in my second year of STEAM right now, and I've been enjoying it a lot. I will answer your question in the following presentation I'm going to give. My background is mechanical engineering. It was called Sustainable Innovation in Eindhoven, but I've also done a master's in Lisbon, and now I'm here in Paris. So as I can say, I really can compare well the different schools I've attended, and ECHO has been ranking really high in terms of quality of education for me, and also all the other things Erik's been explaining. The slides disappeared for me right now, which
shows you how well it prepares you to improvise.
Yes, definitely. So that's fine. Let me otherwise pull them up myself. I can share my screen. I'm assuming they're not coming back.
You should be able to share anyone the presentation and the screen.
Yeah. So they're on. These are just mine, not for the rest of the presentation. So afterwards, you have to figure out how you're going to do that. Cool. So why did I choose École? Exactly to answer your question. I really like.
Did we lost
the courses that they have to offer. It was incredibly hard for everything's okay. Then also the school, of course, their rankings. I guess that's why all of you guys are here in the webinar right now. Also, I really like the trimester approach that they had. So it was more chance to fit in more courses, and also the stage, the internship was something I've never done before in my previous universities, and I'm going to do my first one actually in Sweden soon, and I'm really excited that this school puts me in the position to go for such an internship at a startup soon. And also another reason I chose is the great location that it has in Europe, because I like to travel, but I don't like to fly for environmental reasons. So Paris is located centrally. Like yesterday I came back from Lisbon, and this weekend I'm going to Innsbruck with the train. So definitely great advice. So here's a screenshot of my schedule, because I guess it gives the best insight of what life looks like. The red ones are the courses from Polytechnique. Their course codes are a bit difficult, but for example, on Monday mornings, I had machine learning with AI, which was very relevant. And in the afternoon, I did my more management courses. But then we also tried to explore Paris, and we went to the city to do salsa every Monday. Also, I play football regularly on Wednesday with my friends, and in the day I go to Paris. But I also, on Tuesday nights, I joined the European Youth Energy Forum. So we had online meetings to prepare for that. And my professor allowed me to sometimes miss classes because he thought this was also very important. I also really want to highlight on Tuesday morning, I had French class, and on Thursday mornings, I by myself attended Spanish classes because they were there. As an observer, I joined, and it was super cool to get to learn some Spanish. And then Thursdays, I did volleyball with school. And Thursday afternoon, there's this Coriolis seminar that was already introduced by Erik, but it's when people from the industry come to talk about their experiences, and they make the second years prepare a briefing note and a debriefing note, and it really allows you to sit together with your peers and discuss these topics in a new way that I hadn't really done before in my other universities. So I thought that was really cool. And there's a question? Or no? Okay. And then also in the lunch breaks, we have a campus canteen, and all your friends get together. You can just have lunch together, share a hot meal for a great price. But there's also in the evenings a bar on campus where you can go, and they organize a lot of activities, which is really cool. And there's piano rooms on campus. There's an art room on campus. There's a lot of things you can fill your day with. So in short, it's a really amazing place with cool, interesting courses and seminars. The company visits have been super great. The sports is a priority, and also the events in which they host competitions against different universities, and everybody is together outside playing sports. I really would advise you to make your schedule as busy as you want, because it is a bit far from Paris, so you have to go out there yourself if you want to explore new things. But it's
Excuse me, Samuel, could you please cut your mic? Samuel?
Okay. Okay, and yeah, that was my experience in short. So thank you for having me. If there's questions, let me know. Thank you, Erik.
That was very helpful. Any question from the audience? We had one question asking you about biochemistry.
I think I can answer the question. I saw the question pop up about biochemistry. Vasila, you're muted, but I think we can hear you through another microphone in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So biochemistry, so it's not a master's degree in biochemistry. We do take students who did chemical engineering. Typically, if it's biochemistry with a lot of sort of organic chemistry, you might find it's not geared towards that background. Now, that's not to say if you had a sort of a broader background at the beginning of your degree, it could be successful. You could be successful, but it would not go deeply enough into sort of a biochemistry master's that you would really take advantage of your degree in biochemistry. So as you might have gotten from the course program, it is quite a diverse set of subjects, with the common element being energy and the environment. And so I would say we want to also make sure that people applying for the program are getting what they want out of the program, and going very deeply into biochemistry is not what would happen. And so I would say that's not a typical background that we get in the master's program, I'm sorry to say.
Thank you. May I also ask a question? Yes, with the microphone. So unmute your microphone, the Tato.
Good day, everybody. My name is Tato. I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
Yep.
we do.
Okay. I'm a refugee from South Africa, and I'm an asylum seeker. I've got my titre de séjour and everything like that. I graduated in mechanical engineering at a recognized South African university. I mean, it's globally recognized. And I worked in commercial refrigeration for 5 years, doing research and development for greener refrigeration tactics and models. And so I'm very, very interested in this program. It'll be the next leap for my career. Finding integration in France is very, very difficult for someone like me, because as you can imagine, I don't speak the language, but I'm doing my best to learn it. So finding work anywhere else is very difficult. So what it boils down to is, does this university accommodate people in my situation who cannot financially afford the program, but are willing to put in the work, dedicated, and have experience? And yeah, I mean, this is my only solution, basically. Like, I have to keep knocking on doors like yours, and I'm willing to put in the work and to prove myself, but I don't know if I can afford this university at all, in fact. So that's my question.
Erik, you want to take this?
I think we can.
Okay.
Any one of us could take it. So I think there's a lot of elements about the program that suit your situation well. Number one, it's entirely offered in English, and obviously your level of English is flawless. But it does provide. It does also provide the French language courses as part of the program, so that's another bonus. We have a number of routes. Sorry, also your background from a mechanical engineering degree from a good university in South Africa would no doubt align very well with the program requirements and the excellence we require. And finally, there are a few routes for financial assistance for students who require it. We have industrial sponsorships, industrial bursaries, for example, and also the availability of student loans through the École Polytechnique for qualified students who require them. Have I missed anything, Wasila? Those were the answers I had.
No, I don't think you miss anything, but yeah, there are private and financial aid and public financial aid. Through the organization, you can apply for financial help as well. As he said, there are 0% interest loans. So for any student who have difficulties, there are different ways to study at École Polytechnique with the minimum cost if they don't have the mean. The purpose of École Polytechnique, as May can see it, and Erik as well, we're not here, we are a public university. It's not about making money. The cohort are quite small. It's more about getting the right student in the right program and for them to thrive and be successful. So I highly encourage you to apply if you think your background will match the program, and then we can look for solution for financial help. Because it's only after being accepted that you can apply for financial help.
Can I add one more thing, which is
Yes.
that especially through the internships, the
Are paid.
companies and labs that take interns from our program are fully accustomed to taking students who don't have French as a first language, who often are coming to France and learning French upon their arrival. And so this could be another positive element for a route towards, getting good.
And they also paid internship, so you are paid for the 4 to 6 months. So I hope this helped, Tato. Don't limit, but it's good. I'm happy that you came and listened to the webinar.
Yes, like it will be a life-changing experience, especially for someone like me. I mean, I've always been passionate about green ever since I was in high school, and now I'm 35 years old. So it's literally the next step for my life. It's literally the next step. And considering also that the job market requires somebody who's already affluent in French, I think like me just continuing with my studies was something that I'm passionate about. It's highly in line. So I will do that. I will go through the application process, and I hope me being a refugee or not being able to afford it won't be the thing that limits me.
Thank you. We have other question. Did you see them, Erik, in the meantime?
Yeah, I'm just going through them. So I'll start with Gloria, who says they have a higher national diploma in mechanical engineering with distinction, which is considered equivalent to a bachelor's degree in my country. Am I eligible to apply for this program? I think that absolutely. Mechanical engineering, we have to look at the details, of course. I can't give a definitive yes or no about admission. We go through and look at every single dossier to make sure that it's a good fit, both for us and for the student.
J'ai reçu un nouveau mail de Shruti.
Laurence, on t'entend.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Get your mic. Thank you.
So hi, Florence, Happy New Year. And
Florence is part of the team with the master, so she will be the one who also receive your file.
And so yes, so typically we'll look at the details to make sure it's a good fit. But already I see the words mechanical engineering, and so we look into the details of the dossier, of course. And then for Uchana, geological and mining engineering. Often in a course like geological and mining engineering, we look into how multidisciplinary the program was in the first few years of the program. If it focused, if it was immediately just technical, or if there were some sort of fundamentals that were looked at. When you list some of your courses in physics, fluid mechanics, general chemistry, already this ticks a lot of the boxes that we would say, yes, this is a good translation into, right, solar cells, atmospheric physics, wind, etc. And so I think that would be a good fit in terms of background. And I think we already answered the question of scholarships.
Yeah. But then you have Rania research that focuses on managing landfill emission through biological treatment.
This one I don't have an immediate answer for. We can, if you want to send an email to us, this would be really something specific around the professors and researchers at the École Polytechnique and our partner institutes. And I don't know if there's anyone who works on that specifically here at the École Polytechnique.
We have plenty of labs, so yeah, Erik needs to dig in to see who is working on something very specific.
Thank you for the homework, listening. But this would even go beyond that because we have also the partnerships with industry who could very likely have research going into the subject as well. You're welcome, Gloria. And I think that's the end of the questions in the chat.
Yeah. If there are more questions, please feel free. If anyone have questions that rise, or otherwise have questions directly to May, or that she can answer about her life at École Polytechnique, her studies, her classes, whatever you have in mind, we are here for that. An application process, how to apply?
Yes, so I will sorry. Hi everyone. So now I'll introduce more about how to apply. I just want to check if everyone could see my screen. Okay, great. One sec. Yes. So first of all, for the online application form, we would need your transcript from undergrad or post-secondary degrees, and also 2 reference from first of all, from your professor who's teaching you, or your supervisor from your internship, and the personal statement. So we would advise for the personal statement to be as truthful, to show who you are, so your strength and also your inspiration, so that we can see if you are a good fit for our program. And the 4th one is your resume, and also and the next one is the English test. So we accept IELTS, TOEFL, or Cambridge Advanced C1 level, and the application fee is €90. And for the shortlist applicants, you will have 20 to 30 minutes of the interviews, and to show strong background in scientific, and also the motivation to study at École Polytechnique with our program, and also show us your extra curriculum or activities that you do inside and outside of the classroom. Yes. So if you have any question regarding the application, please feel free to put in the chat box or let us know via our social media or email. Yes. And for the yes, please.
Why you need so much high bands in IELTS? Because the C1 level, as far as I have checked, the C1 bands are equivalent to, I guess, 7.5, and that's too high.
I see, that's a good question. So just from my perspective, because the program is 2 years entirely in English and it's very technical, scientific field. So I suppose we would need a high level of English so that you can understand the course, practice the course, and also communicate with your professor and classmate. So Priscilla and Erik, if you'd like to add or further information for Raja Ali.
That's a good answer. It's a high level and highly technical course.
I can't hear you.
And as well in your internships, you'll also be expected to communicate and work and write reports.
Erik, your
High level English.
mic is far away.
I
can't hear you.
I can lean forward and speak more loudly, but that's the answer that I agree with. That it's a very technical program, and on top of that, you will be going into industries and laboratories and writing and working and writing, especially in English, at a very high scientific level. So we find that is the level that is required so far, and it has been a very good benchmark for students to have success.
Okay, I have one more question. Why don't you accept PTE? Because it's very common nowadays. Why don't you people go with only IELTS, Cambridge, and
those are the ones that are accepted by the institution so far. It may change in the near future, but so far we just accept the one that have been mandated by the government and by the institution. So unfortunately, we don't do Duolingo and things like that, but they are
It's
also very,
because of the government restriction or
no, not government,
just your institute, it's your institution requirement.
it's our institution requirement, and under the application of the institution definition of what is the test that they want to provide and have to be relevant for everyone. So at this date, when it was decided, those are the 3 tests that were required and mandatory.
Okay.
Also, if you have an English passport or English-speaking country passport, you are also exempt. So for
That's
the
not the
people who
case.
come from English countries, they are
Or if your higher education was also completely instructed in
for the
English.
past 2 years. So
So
the exemption. If you
yes,
study in English for the past 2 years, you are exempt. If your passport is English, you're not.
as far as my case is concerned, I have bachelor's in English language. Oh no, my complete study is in English language.
So that's you are exempt from taking the exam. We just have to need a letter from the university stating that everything was in English. And from
Okay, that's
my
fine. So
understanding,
I need not IELTS or Cambridge if I have the letter from the university.
perfect, yes, correct.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay, but I can see you understand perfectly English and you express yourself perfectly in English, so I don't think you will have any problem even if you try to take the test.
Yeah, usually in the technical fields, the higher band IELTS score is not required. I was surprised when I see the C1 level. Usually
But
in the technical field, the
you
test
have to
score
think this
required
is
is
a
of B,
requirement for
B2.
the whole master program and for the whole university, is not specifically
Okay,
just for this one. So we have
okay,
to
got it.
make it fair for everyone.
So that's okay, I got it.
Thank you.
But I have the questions
Go ahead.
that you are from the Polytechnique, Polytechnique. So what does it école means?
École, school in French. It's
So
school in English.
school in English. So simple. The school translate school in French is école.
Yes.
So we can say it's school of Polytechnique.
You just say École Polytechnique.
Okay, okay, got it.
So thank you,
Thank you.
Vasila, and for answering the question. So Evan, I think you raised your hand, so you have a question as well.
Yeah, I have a question about the English certificate. I read in your website that it is possible to send the application without the certification, but I'm not sure how it works and when do I have to get the certificate, because I have worked for the last 2 years or 3 years in English, but I have never been certificate, so I'm not sure if I can get that certificate for the deadline for the second round. I would like to apply in the second round.
Okay, correct.
But
So as you read it on the website, you can submit it after. The most important is that you submit all the important documents to be able for your application to be reviewed by the director of the program. And then if so, you can submit once you receive the result, the English certificate test. Most important is to have it before you enter the program if you are selected.
Nice.
I would like to add that we will need the results by the end of the admission round.
Of course.
We need the results by the end of the admission round, not before registration, but before the end of the interview process, etc. So we can allow a few days if you are going through your exam, for example, today, and the end of admission is tomorrow, and then you will get the results in a few days. That's okay. We can always arrange that, but it cannot be in May or June, because that would be.
Yeah, of course.
And we will
That's a main problem. I would take the test tomorrow, actually, but I'm not sure about the results.
you will have
Okay.
it weekend, not
It's not up to me
weekend.
totally, so I have to wait, and I have no idea how many days it will
So that's
take.
totally acceptable. And so if you submit the proof that you are taking the exam tomorrow, then we know that we will have to wait a few days. That's completely fine with us.
Nice.
So instead of
Thanks
the
for your
test, just submit your proof.
Okay, I have one more question. I have applied in your institute through online portal. So I haven't received any fee voucher like you displayed here of 90 euros fees, and still my application is in process. So
Yes, we are currently reviewing all applications, but there are a lot of them. And so we have to review all documents and payments and for every applicant. So it takes a little while, but we will get to you very
so
soon.
when
And
you shortlist the application, after that you will ask for the processing fee of 90 euros.
no, the fee must have to be paid to have the application
But
complete.
you haven't taken a fee from me.
Well, it means that your application won't be completed. You have to pay the application fee.
Can you send
So
an email with your details?
can I share my screen?
Well, I
Yes,
think
that's here.
what I would suggest is you send us a mail. That way, for a very specific case like yours, send us an email to gdadmissions@polytechnique.edu, and we will give you a very personalized answer.
You
That
have
will be
seen, I have trying to share my screen. This
Yeah,
is
but it's better Ali, if you can
okay. I
we
will.
can move on to the next question because we are
Okay,
short in
got it.
time, that's why. But we will get back to you. Florence will be on your case for sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other question?
Yes, please.
There were some questions on the chat.
Yeah, I saw plenty of questions, and Tato has one as well. So go ahead, Tato, while Erik is reading.
So I was just going to go through them in the chat, and Tato was the next one in the
Okay.
chat. So, but before Tato in the chat was a question
Okay.
about the interview process. And so the interview question was, is it like the concours or something else? So in the interview, what we do is we check both your suitability for the program in terms of your goals, what you want to do, your maturity, how it will fit with the program. It's also a good chance to check to get a feel for your level of ability for scientific discussion. So we might ask a few questions that someone with your academic background would easily be able to answer, and then to just kind of check what you want to get out of the program if it's a good fit. So it's not going to be a barrage of extremely technical questions. It's not like that. It's really to see if the dossier is really a good representation, and that when it's one-on-one or a few people on one, that it remains a good fit for the program. Okay. Tato, another question that you had?
Thank you. And I apologize for not raising up my hand. I can't figure out how to do it on this app. But yeah, the next question would be with respect to the references. I graduated in 2017. I was class of 2016. So I'm not quite sure. I think I've had this problem before with applying. I'm not quite sure how I'd be able to acquire those references from my old lecturers, let alone if they still remember me, because I don't consult with them. I worked for 5 years, and then I came here, and I've been looking for a job ever since. So how would I get a way around the references? What are my chances with respect to that? And also, I think my university is a English and Afrikaans university, but I obviously took my classes in English. So I don't know how I'd also be able to prove that. Do I need to email the university and ask them for proof that it is an English university? I don't know how we're going to do that.
Yes, absolutely. So that's what every applicant goes through. You have to email your university that will provide you just a formal letter stating that you have indeed followed your education in English and that it was fully instructed and examined in English. That's a document that universities hand out all the time, if that's the case for them. And also for the reference, same process, I would say, but you have to reach out to some of your former lecturers and teachers and professors and ask them if they would indeed agree to reference you and recommend you.
For people that have worked in for a while afterwards, also a letter of reference from your previous employer, manager, or for example, it also works. We understand that after a few years in work, that might be more relevant. And so we do, it doesn't have to always only be an academic reference. But for Florence's answer about the English language, that's totally right.
But Florence, quick question. As he's South African with the main language being English, does he still need to go through asking the university?
I think it's preferable.
Because for the bachelor, we don't do that. It's based on passport.
Well, I don't know about the
We double
requirements
check.
for the bachelor's, but
Yeah.
but yeah, for the master's degree. Well, indeed, some countries do have several official languages, but then we do still need proof that at least the education was in English, because for example, Belgium speaks Belgians speak 3 languages, but not all of them speak all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So it's we still need proof that English was a used language in the education.
Often disappears on the transcript.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question regarding to the application process. I have applied in the month of October, I guess 26th of October, and still I haven't received any response from the university. What's the reason? Why you guys are so much slow?
I don't think we are slow. I think you must have received at least several emails, because we go through every single applications, and we do send emails regarding the missing documents or missing application fee. So you must have received emails with what is missing in your file, in your application file.
Yeah,
I
we are
haven't
quite quick.
received
You should check your spam.
any sort of email regarding to missing document or fee. That's why I was surprised. It's taking too
Check your
long.
spam and send us an email and we'll get back to you. Because if you didn't submit application fee, as you said, there may be an issue here.
But university, I have applied on your online portal and I haven't seen any area where I need to pay the fee.
Okay, we will investigate.
Okay.
Yes, please send us an email and maybe join us your application number, so that we can find it easier, and we will get back to you and give you a very personalized, focused
How much
answer.
time you guys usually take to process the application?
Usually we assess them weekly.
Okay, so in 1 or 2 weeks you will respond to the application.
If you have applied recently, yes, but since you said you have applied in October, that was
Yes.
during the first wave and it's already closed.
Okay.
So you would have to complete your application, and it means paying the application fee as well, and apply, and then we will see your file again. But I really push this through. You really have to send us an email with your details and we will get back to you. That way we can really give you a personalized answer, because otherwise we won't have enough time to answer everyone's question about more general
got
issues.
it.
Thank you.
Just display the email so I can write my whole case in the email.
All right, I will send it in the chat so that everyone can have it.
So, Erik, we're moving to the next question. Are there opportunities for application fee waiver for this program? No, there are no application fee waiver. Every applicant need to pay the 90 euros. Unfortunately, there are not this option so far. Scholarship. Campus France have partnership with the university. Campus France offer different scholarship in different countries, so I highly advise you to contact your Campus France, your local office, and they will be able to guide you through the different scholarship that they are available. There are also the FL scholarship that is ending up soon. There are scholarship in India. They are in different countries, so please contact them directly. We're not aware of all the scholarships that are available in the country. Also, will an English proficiency certificate issued by a higher institution suffice in place of English tests like IELTS for applicants who complete their undergrad studies in English? Yes, it is, like we said many times. If you studied in English 100%, you can ask your institution to send you a letter or to make a quick email or something, a letter with the header, so we can know that you studied in English, and this will be enough if you study for the past 2 years. Hello, everyone. My name is Gertrude Stephanie. I'm from Burkina Faso, and I have a bachelor degree in electrical engineering with a renewable energy option. Coming from a French-speaking country, I have an intermediate level of English. Is there any way to improve my language skill outside of class hours? And I first contacted École Polytechnique to take part of the FL scholarship. Is there still in use at this institute? Yes, like I said, FL scholarship is still in use, so you can still apply for FL scholarship through Campus France, I believe, no?
No.
It's good.
Yes, EIFEL scholarship is reserved to students admitted within the first round, which is already closed, unfortunately. And it's actually the school that submits students to the scholarship. So we first admit students, and then we submit a few of them based on excellence, academic excellence.
And practicing French, you will be able, of course. There are plenty of French speakers everywhere. Everyone is bilingual in the staff almost. So yeah, I have also paid for tuition, and I register in the first round. Another Mandana who didn't pay for tuition fee, and she applied on first round. So if you can send an email to Florence to the email that she's gonna communicate on the chat, and then she can look into it and put your reference number. I also asked to pay for tuition, and I register for the first round. Very thankful. Okay, so I think we answer everyone question so far.
I see one hand up still from Ivan.
Ivan, we have Ivan.
Yeah. Once you apply or you send your application, is there any chance that you correct any document, especially from my university, because I'm from Chile, so all my diplomas are in Spanish. The official documents are in Spanish, so they have to translate it. But I know that they make this transcript of my grades, but I'm not truly sure about the official document or letter from your university explaining the grading and ranking system. I'm not sure about that document, so maybe there would be some kind of issues about this. Is there any chance that you, after I send my application, you send me back like some kind of feedback if it doesn't work?
So what happens when we receive submitted applications is we do review it, and everything that has a little mistake or it's the wrong documents or we cannot read it, we will get back to you and ask you to correct it. So do not worry about it. Sometimes it's also better to send your application as complete as possible, even if you know that there are some tweak to add to it. But at least we can review them and then tell you what to fix or what to edit. So don't worry about it, but you will have to complete it and have it
I will
full
try my
and
best.
thorough. Yes, but we do understand it. And well, usually schools will have a service that will translate official documents, but I don't know about your school in Chile specifically. So cross my fingers that they do.
Yeah, I know that they transcribe I mean, the transcript is done, but I'm not sure about the letter, the official letter. I don't know if they do this, but okay, I will try to find the way. Thanks.
You're
Right.
welcome.
Yes, so thank you everyone for the very interactive question and answer. So I just like to cover a little bit about the tuition fee. So it's 15,100 euro per year, and the application fees is 90 euro per application. And I think Wasila also covered a little bit about financial aid from Ecomolotechnic Foundation with zero interest, and also the student loans that we offer, as well as the scholarship. And I will go a little bit regarding the living expense. Yeah, sorry, finger too fast. So for the living expense in France, for your study, so for accommodation, it would be around 500 to 700 for a room that including utilities. But as a student in France, you also receive a French national housing benefit called CAF, would be around 150 to 200 per month. And if you live on campus for accommodation, it would be 600 to 800 euro. And for the studio, it would be 700 to 900 euro. So Meie Kleijburg, if you're still here, please correct me if the price has been increased or decreased a little bit due to inflation. And for the subscription for to travel around the regions, it's around 375 euro. It depends on the subscription that you choose. And the phone plan depends on your data registration or the call. It would be 10 to 20 euro per month. And for the visa conversion from short-term to long-term visa, the cost would be 75 euro at the moment, up to date at the moment. Probably if it will change, please make sure to check on the website. So that's
just quickly, the 375 for transportation, this is yearly, not monthly. Yeah?
Okay, yes. Right, thank you, Wasila, for the update. So that is the brief summary of living expense here in France as a student. And as Florence also mentioned about the admission calendar, that we have 4 rounds, and the first round have been closed, and now the second round is opened. So please hurry up and make sure that you applied your application and complete all the necessary files before the deadline. Yes. And for the question and answer, I suppose we have covered quite sufficiently and effectively. If you have any other question, please feel free to reach out to us via email or the social media. And please feel free to keep in touch and follow us on our social media channel. So thank you so much for your time, your effort, and your interest in our program. Wishing you a very successful year ahead. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Is there any more question or anything?
I was just going to say good luck on your English test, Eva.
Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure he will get a C2.
I will try my best.
Okay, I have a question. I have sent my case on the email that you shared in the chat box, gdadmissions@polytechnique.fr.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So,
perfect. We will look into it, I promise.
okay. How long will it take?
It might take a day or two because we've received a lot of emails
Okay.
during the winter break.
Okay, got
Please
it.
be patient, but we won't abuse your patience, I promise.
I have waited for 2.5 months, so that's not an issue for me to wait for 2 days.
It's good. That means you're very committed.
Yeah.
We like that.
Okay.
So any more question in the audience? I hope the format was okay for you and you've been able to express all your question and everything.
Yes, we'll take this as a yes.
Yeah.
If you do have any more questions, please save our email address. Do not hesitate to reach out to us. As I said, we are a little clogged up right now in terms of the emails because we're just coming back from our break, but we do answer every email we receive. So please feel free to reach out to us.
Sorry again. Can I see the email address?
GD, it's on the chat. GD admissions with an S at polytechnique.fr.
Maybe Kelsey, could you go back one page
sure.
in your PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes, it's right there under the blue square. You have the GD admissions at polytechnique.fr email
The bottom
address.
line just before that.
You can also find it on the website. But anyway, yeah, please.
It's not a
feel free to
hidden
reach
secret.
out.
It's everywhere. You can contact us in any tools media and we get back to you as soon as we can.
Thank you so much. I would like to say thank you so much for this opportunity, and it's really opened up a lot in my life right now. Just hearing about this and following through with this, like I really hope everything goes well, and I appreciate all the information that was provided. So thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Rania, I see you raised your hand.
Actually, I have a question that I forget to ask. But if you have like hearing impairment, especially I cannot hear clearly through the electronic device, and it kind of hamper me to get like the IELTS band that I want to go for. If that there is like maybe a second consideration for that, I would be grateful for that.
I'm sorry, but I didn't really get what kind of consideration. I understand you have a hearing impairment. What kind of consideration would you like for you to have?
So I cannot so in my IELTS, I think like for several time I have applied for IELTS simulation and stuff, and the day after tomorrow I will take the IELTS test, and I kind of like not very confident in scoring the IELTS band for the listening part. Yeah, because I am partially deaf, and it is hard for me to hear through like the electronic device. But I can interact clearly through like direct meetings with people. So if like my IELTS in listening is lower than the other bands, not like 6.5 or 6, can that be still considered as well? But the other band is still meet the requirements.
Of course, it's a very good question because we do usually pay attention to the listening and speaking scores. But in your case, obviously, we could make an exception if you complete your test in a very, very good results. And please just make sure that in your application, you mentioned that you have a hearing impairment. That way we can take that into account. And we do realize that through conversations, you hear us well, you understand English well, and I'm sure you're gonna do fine in your tests, but I do understand that this might be a reason of stress for you. So just make sure that you do the best you can in your test, and then mention it in your application so that way we take that into consideration.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kelsey, Laurence, Erik, for your time, availability, and thank you, everyone, for joining us and taking the time with us to talk more about the program and learn more about École Polytechnique and the master of Erik. So thank you. Have a lovely day and hope to see your application soon.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Happy
Year
New
and
Year.
wishing you all the best for 2025.
Goodbye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.